I was astounded this morning. I woke up not feeling too hot because of the goofy shingle shot yesterday. And I went through my morning routine of going through the sites that I check on. Axios, Mike Allen's site, left of center. Biden officials awed by Trump's rule-breaking Middle East moves. I couldn't believe it. I thought, am I hallucinating? Is the shingles shot causing me hallucinations now? I mean, I don't feel great, but you got to hear this. And I wonder what the Trump hate. I keep thinking about Trump haters and how they respond to that. A bunch of Trump haters had to read that today and say, wait a minute. Biden administration officials are praising him for his trip to the Middle East? Really? They're awed by Trump's willingness to shatter so many harmful taboos? Now, these are quotes from former Biden administration officials. I guess the people who hate Trump, they're just going to keep hating Trump, as evidenced by this clip that I saw on X. We had to bleep it a little bit because there's one dirty word in there, but it's very funny. I don't know who the guy is, but I wanted to share it with you because it cracked me up.
If Trump walks out on the street and says, my goodness, look at that dog. I wouldn't eat it. Don't eat dog. The Democrats would run over to that pile of steaming dog turds and start cramming it into their mouths and telling how good it tastes.
Isn't that right? Isn't that perfectly put? If Trump walked out of the Oval Office and looked down and saw dog turds, he'd say, we should never eat dog turds, don't do it. And Democrats would, knock each other out to get there to cram dog turds in their mouth. I mean, look, we ought to test that theory. We ought to try it. We ought to get Trump to say that because they're up against anything he stands for. Anything he stands for. Lower drug prices, and yet now he's got a team. It's not just him standing alone. Where do you hear him ripping this Representative DeLauro, the woman with the purple hair, the elderly lady who's in Congress with the purple hair? She's been on the Oversight Committee over Health and Human Services for many, many years. Check out this exchange. You're going to love this.
Congress, again, power of the purse resides here, appropriated $246 million for CDC's tobacco prevention programs. Do you commit to following the law again, fully obligating those funds so that we can help adults who want to quit using tobacco and prevent teens from becoming addicted?
Allow me to answer that by pointing out the absolute cataclysmic disorganization of this agency under your oversight for 40 years. We had 9 separate offices of women's health. When we consolidate them, the Democrats say we're eliminating them. We're not. We're still appropriating the $3.7 billion, but we're not keeping all 9. We had 8 separate offices for minority health. We eliminated 1. We had 27 HIV offices.
Okay, let me just, I'm going to interrupt.
We had 59 behavioral health
right.
programs.
I'm well over time.
Now, and he went on to say something that was so astounding, and I'll play for you the money clip about what he said about how many years she spent admitting that they wanted to eliminate dangerous food dyes, and he comes along and in 100 days gets it done. It is so magnificent. So we'll play that money clip for you from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. coming up next. I'm plowing through my shingles fatigue, my shingles shot. I'm hanging in there. I know you're lifting me up, and I appreciate you very much. Here's the money clip I mentioned a moment ago from Robert F. Kennedy Jr., because this is a great exchange. So he's getting browbeaten by the purple-haired lady. Where's she from? Is it Rhode Island? Isn't she from Rhode Island? Oh, Connecticut. Rosa DeLauro. She's like, is she 85? Maybe 90? I don't know. She's been in Congress a long, long time. And, hey, she's obviously an individualist. She chooses to dye her hair purple. That's the look that she's going for. I think I'll have purple hair as a member of Congress. So the purple-haired lady gets quite the smackdown from the Health and Human Services Secretary.
Look at our children. They're the sickest children in the world. Lori, you say that Excuse me, Congressman DeLauro, you say that you've worked for 20 years on getting food dye out. Give me credit. I got it out in 100 days.
I'll give you that credit.
All right, so let's work together and do something that we all believe in, which is have healthy kids in our country, for God's sake.
Ms.
We can all
Dean.
do that together. It's not, there's no such thing as Republican children and Democratic children. There's just kids, and we should all be concerned with them.
Gosh, that's powerful, isn't it? Isn't that astounding? And you could hear her off in the distance saying, I give you credit for that. For years, under her oversight, she's been saying, let's get rid of these dangerous food dyes to benefit our kids. And they never got it done. And in 100 days, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. got it done. This administration is getting extraordinary things done. So look at this Axios piece, which to me is a bombshell. Again, mainstream media publication, a Beltway site. I go there every morning, 6:30 in the morning. I'm up and I go through all my sites. I go to townhall.com. I go to Hot Air. I go all over, up Red State. I don't go to Drudge anymore because something dark and sinister has happened over at Drudge. I don't know what that's all about. The Drudge Report has become a daily anti-Trump diatribe, and I don't know. It used to be a conservative site, but I don't know what happened there, but so be it. And I go to Axios, and it's a very newsy site. It's informative. It does tend to skew left, but nonetheless, they're capable of trying to call balls and strikes. Well, here's an example. Article written by Dave Lawler. I hope he still gets to keep his job after this article. Headline: President Trump's recent series of audacious foreign policy moves have astounded even some of his harshest critics. Just in the Middle East and just in the past week, Trump has met with a leader the U.S. officially considers a terrorist, announced he'll lift sanctions on Syria, cut a truce with the Houthis, and plus a hostage deal with Hamas, both which excluded Israel. Biden administration veterans who spoke with Axios raised questions about Trump's motivations, but grudgingly saluted his boldness. Now, this is not something that Democrats typically do. One admitted, gosh, I wish I could work for an administration that could move that quickly. These are Biden people. These are Biden people. Ned Price, former senior State Department official under Biden, said he does all this and it's kind of silence. It's met with a shrug. He has the ability to do things politically that previous presidents did not because he has complete, unquestioned authority over the Republican caucus. Here's Rob Malley, who held senior posts in 3 Democrat administrations, including handling Iran talks under Obama and Biden. It's hard not to be simultaneously terrified at the thought of the damage he can cause with such power and awed by his willingness to brazenly shatter so many harmful taboos. Axios says on issue after issue, Trump is taking steps no recent president would have even considered. Driving the news, the Biden administration considered these things. Look, the Trump administration is doing it. One former Biden administration official told Axios, when his personal instincts coincide with the national interest, it's pretty remarkable how quickly he can move. Yeah, he moves quickly, all right. Boy, does he move quickly. And it matters. It really matters. And you got to learn to ignore the noise. That's all I ask. Ignore the noise and embrace and welcome and relish what is being achieved right now. Good things are happening with the economy, obviously with the border, and God willing, the Supreme Court is going to put an end to birthright citizenship. Is there not one person in America who can argue for birthright citizenship who's in the Mike Gallagher Show audience today? Not one? Can we get one person to call to argue for birthright citizenship? I don't know that I've ever seen this one-sided an issue before, and I know we got a lot of lefties who listen. I know we got people who disagree with me. I don't want to have a big knockdown drag out with you. Can you make the case for birthright citizenship? I sincerely want to know.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.